The Galaxy Note 10 Plus is here. You have questions, we have answers. Here's the review. In my hands-on of the Note 10 Plus, I said a lot of good things about the design, and a lot of that holds true. I really like the Aura Glow color, and in general, the rear design is the best I've ever seen on a Note phone. However, after using it for some time, it gets a lot of fingerprints on it, and that's not terribly unusual for a smartphone these days, but I'm saying a lot of smudges and fingerprints. So carry a microfiber cloth with you because you're gonna wipe it down constantly. It also tends to attract scratches. I haven't dropped the phone at all. I haven't done anything crazy with it, just putting it in my pocket, putting it on a table. And already I'm seeing a few scratches, nothing too crazy, just a couple already, but that's already kind of disappointing to see just with a week of use. So definitely worthwhile getting a clear case maybe if you get the Aura Glow color, or just a case if you're choosing to protect that Gorilla Glass 6 back. Think of all the adjectives that you can think of to describe a screen. Well, good ones. At 6.8 inches, it's massive, but it's also colorful, it's sharp, it's vivid, but best of all, it's super bright. I could probably stand in front of the sun and still see this screen clearly. Okay, that's a bit of an exaggeration, but you get the idea. It's just super bright. No matter where you are outside, you'll be able to see the screen with no problem at all. And if you're watching a movie outside, it helps that the speakers are stereo speakers, so you're getting really rich sound. The in-display sensor makes a return here from the Galaxy S10, and it's a lot better. It's more reliable, but it's not as fast still as traditional capacitive sensors. Thankfully, there is a face unlock feature that you can use to unlock your phone. It doesn't work as well in low light, plus it's not that secure, but hey, it's an extra option. By now I'm sure you know there is no headphone jack on this phone. That really sucks, but there is also no dongle in the box, so you're gonna have to use the USB-C AKG earbuds that do come included. But I really feel like at 1,100, Samsung should have just tossed in a dongle there for people who still like analog. It's the Snapdragon 855 in here with 12 gigs of RAM, a bit excessive, but I think you will not find any issues with performance at all. Everything I did was fluid and smooth, apps opened really quickly, gaming load times were really short. I played PUBG for around 45 minutes on the highest settings possible and had no issues whatsoever. Gameplay was super smooth, and the phone only got a little warm around that 45-minute mark. The triple camera system is very similar to the one we saw on the Galaxy S10 Plus. You're getting a wide-angle lens, a telephoto lens, and a standard lens. And while in our testing, some of the photos that I took at night actually beat out phones like the Google Pixel 3 XL, as well as the OnePlus 7 Pro. But when you use the night mode on those respective phones, they definitely trounced the Galaxy Note 10 Plus. Night mode on the rear camera doesn't work that well compared to other night modes on other phones. You have to be very, very still, and if there's any movement, it kind of gets all blurred up and looks funky, but it does work pretty well on the selfie camera, which is a first on a Samsung phone. The Galaxy S10 Plus has a dedicated night mode after an update, but you won't get that night mode function on the selfie camera there. It's a 4,300 mAh battery on the Note 10 Plus, and it will get you through a full day, sort of, depending on your usage. I typically had about medium to high usage, and I frequently ended days with around 30% left by 7 or 8 p.m. Just last night, for example, I came back from dinner at around 9:30 p.m. and my phone was at 15%. It's not great, but you will get through a full day if you don't watch too many videos or game that much. In our standard battery test, where we play a 1080p YouTube video over Wi-Fi with max brightness, the Note 10 Plus lasted 12 hours and 30 minutes. The Galaxy S10 Plus lasted 12 hours and 40 minutes. So the Note 10 Plus lost by about 10 minutes, but you can still get pretty comparable performance. But the killer feature here is the fact that you can get super fast charging. That's with the included charger in the box. It's a 25-watt adapter, and you can get from 0 to 100% in around an hour. We've done tests multiple times. I've gotten from 0 to 100 in about an hour and 2 minutes exactly, and an hour and 6 minutes sometimes. So it kind of varies, but it's always around that mark. Those speeds are pretty fast, and it also beat the OnePlus 7 Pro. And we have a battery charging test that you can watch, and you can click the link right there. Now, if you want even faster charging, you can get the 45-watt adapter, and that only works with the Note 10 Plus. It's $50, but you get a burst of speed when you plug it in for a shorter amount of time. So if your phone's at 0% and you only charge it for around 10 minutes, it will get enough energy to last you a really long time. Definitely save up for that if you're someone that often finds yourself at 0%. Then you have your quality of life features like wireless charging. It took around 2.5 hours to fully charge from 0 to 100%. That's with an Anker charger. You have wireless power share, which we first saw in the Galaxy S10 range, which lets you put another Qi charging device on the back of the phone to charge it as well. Then you have things like IP68 water resistance, a micro SD card slot, 256 gigs of internal storage, basically anything and everything you need in a phone. Okay, so there's two things I think Samsung could have added to make this phone perfect. stainless steel for one. The iPhones cost $1,000+ and now so does this, so it's not unreasonable to expect stainless steel over aluminum. Stainless steel is more durable, scratch resistant, and in general just a more luxurious metal. I think Samsung did think about doing it because they had a lot of mistakes in their initial marketing materials that said the Note 10 Plus was made of stainless steel, but turns out it was just an error and it's definitely aluminum. But I think maybe the Galaxy S11 will be stainless steel. And two, Samsung helped OnePlus create a 90 Hz refresh rate screen on the OnePlus 7 Pro. Why is that not here on the Note 10 Plus? Having a 90 Hz screen refresh rate is just so much more nicer to use and a lot more fluid, and it's definitely discernible when you switch to a traditional 60 Hz screen, which is what we have here. It's definitely a missed opportunity. All right, so we just zipped through some of those core features to quickly get that out of the way. Now let's talk about some of those wacky and weird features that Samsung focused on at its keynote back at Galaxy Unpacked. First up is converting handwritten notes to editable text. Quick word on actually writing notes on the Note 10 Plus though. I like it, or at least I want to like it. The phone just feels so narrow and it slides around everywhere that it makes writing on the Note actually kind of hard. Not the most pleasurable experience at least, but it definitely feels fun and nice to be able to do, especially when you don't have a notepad lying around. So basically think of a Word document and you get a text box inside it with your converted text. So now you have to cut whatever's in that text box, paste it into your Word document that you already have open, and that's the whole process. It's just kind of weird that you kind of have to do all that, especially on mobile, and it kind of makes you just not want to use the feature as much. But if you're an avid note taker, I'm sure you'll like this feature a lot. Sticking with the S Pen, the Air actions that they announced let you wave your S Pen like a wand to control certain apps like the camera app and switch to the different modes. It really works well and I want to use it, it's just I haven't really run into that many occasions to use it. If you're an avid selfie taker, you often find yourself placing your phone somewhere and trying to take a timed selfie. Well, this is definitely the phone for you because you can do all of that and a whole lot more, even zoom in with the camera and zoom out. It does work with apps like YouTube, and Samsung also has a developer kit for software developers to add support into their own apps. I would really like to see some games that support this new S Pen functionality. It'd be really cool to control a character, for example, with just a wave of your S Pen, but we'll have to wait and see who actually does. And then there's AR Doodle, which is kind of cool. It kind of reminds me of the Animoji feature on iPhones. It works really well, but people don't really use it that much. Well, that's the case here. Like, I draw stuff and it looks great, and then I'm like, cool. Let's not do that again. My problem with it is that when you hold your phone like this, it's very hard to draw, so my drawings end up looking pretty poor. I'm sure other people will have fun with it. I do like the pro-grade video features they added in the Note 10 Plus. For example, Zoom in Mic, which works like this.
Hi, this is a test, and we're going to see if the sound is going to be picked up specifically.
Such a sound had not been heard at those places since Sauron came to Middle-earth. To Sam, suddenly it seemed as if all the stones were listening and tall rocks leaning over them.
It does a pretty good job. You can definitely hear me clearer, but this is not really a new feature. We've seen this feature on older phones from HTC and LG. I really like Super Steady, which is a stabilization feature that they've had before, but now it's even further improved, and it works with hyperlapse mode, so you can get some really cool shots like this. And of course there's live focus video, which we first saw on the Galaxy S10 5G. It uses the time of flight sensor on the back of the phone to make a portrait-like effect, creating blur around a subject, as you can see here. It doesn't do the best job. You can see some of the errors around the subject's head, but it does work better than we've seen it on other phones. To top it all off, there is a pretty neat video editing app built into the phone. There's a lot of features that you can use, so let's try and edit a video now. I have my handy S Pen here to help me out, so we're gonna edit this quick video. Here's the original video. You can see I added the live focus video glitch effect, one of my favorites. Does a pretty good job. And let's try and do a quick edit. Basically, you're in the gallery app from Samsung and you tap that edit icon. Now you can see this whole host of features. You can trim the video, jump around wherever you wanna go. You can rotate the video as well. Toss in a filter if you want. Not really digging the look of most of these filters for the most part, so I'm gonna just go with let's go with retro. Let's try retro. And then you can also add text, so let's say ice cream, because she's eating ice cream. You can add different color for it. You can even add a bubble around the text and change the style. Maybe center it. There we go. Now let's see if we can add some stickers. Let's add a heart icon. Great. Let's try and do some fun wavy signs. Don't really know what that is, but. And you can also add background music based on a couple of options here. Let's try Charleston. Yeah, I think we're gonna go with that. And now let's just play this video. Let's save that. And here we go. I really like the video editor, and it's really helpful to have that S Pen to use it with. One of the other features is 3D Scanner. It's available in the Bixby Vision section of the camera app. Lets you scan everyday objects like this Bug Droid character. And then you can also attach it to people and have the object animate itself. It's kind of weird. Let's check it out. All right, so we're trying out the 3D scanning. You can access it in Bixby Vision in the camera app, and we're gonna scan Bug Droid here. We have a lot of light in here, so this should work out well, but let's check it out. I basically have to start the scan and go around the object, and of course you want to make sure there's no other items in the way. So we're just going to go around the entire subject, and I'm going to try and finish this out by going again once more and tapping the stop button. And this is the result. Yeah, didn't really work out. It does not really look like it. Kind of screwed up all over the edges. You can see the hands. It just definitely did not work as I would have liked. And I definitely did try this a couple times, and this was more or less the result we kept getting. So either you need to pick an object that has very defined features and hands that really stick out, or you'll end up with something like this. What you can do is save it. And there are some options here. One of them is to attach it to a person. So let's try that. So we've attached it, and let's actually, wow, that is doing some weird things. Now, you can see my brother in the video clip trying to make some movements, and you can see some horrifying things happening with Bug Droid. Looks like a Salvador Dali painting. It's definitely supposed to look a lot better than that, but you kind of get the idea of how that motion capture works. Again, having an object that had more distinguishable hands might help. Even in Samsung's keynote footage of the bear, it looked wonky there, so it's definitely not perfect, and I don't think this will ever be perfect because this looks absolutely terrifying. And then there's Link to Windows, which lets you connect the Note 10 Plus to a Windows PC or laptop. You don't need to install any software. It's built in right into the phone settings. You can access your recent photos, your notifications, your messages, but that's all stuff that you can typically do with the Microsoft Your Phone app on any phone. What's unique here is this mode called Phone Screen, which lets you use your keyboard and mouse to control the Note 10 Plus without ever having to touch it. So you're more or less getting a virtual box of Android apps running on Windows. It's kind of cool. I actually ended up playing PUBG with my keyboard and mouse, sort of, only the WASD keys worked, and I had to click and drag with the mouse to turn the camera around, but hey, it worked and I got some kills, so I guess that's something. So that's the Note 10 Plus. It's $1,100, available now. And it's very hard to say if it's worth all of that money. There's a lot more phones that you can buy now for a lot less, and you'll be more than satisfied. But I've been using this phone for the past week, and I've just had a lot of fun with it, and it's just been a joy to use. So if your budget goes that high, then I think definitely consider it, and you won't be disappointed. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you have any thoughts on the Galaxy Note 10 Plus, or if you're going to buy it, let us know in the comments. We will have a closer look at the smaller Note 10 soon, so keep an eye out for that. Otherwise, like, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications, and head to digitaltrends.com for more.